Hey everybody, here we are at Omaha Beach.
Yeah, I think it's already 5:20. I don't know if they'll be able to make it down to that.
Do you want to extend it a bit or no?
Well, I mean, that means you drop off bags and go to the dinner.
It means less time at the hotel, yeah.
15 minutes at the hotel, drop off bags, go. That's okay. I think this is more important.
Yeah, so do I, yeah. I'm not seeing comments, guys. Don't know why. Sometimes the comments show up, sometimes they don't. Let's see, maybe they'll show up now. Ah, Chris says salut. All right, now I'm seeing comments. Yay. Didn't see comments earlier. Sorry, guys. But they seem to be showing up now, so that's great. So this is Omaha Beach. This is one of 5 beaches of the Normandy invasion. Please tell us the city was this beach. All right. So this is the beach where the one of the 5 beaches that the Americans landed at. So the beach over is Gold Beach, and that's where the British landed, and they built an artificial harbor which allowed to provide supplies. And Omaha is just to the west of that. And so on the D-Day invasion of Normandy, 6th of June 1944, had the largest military operation in history take place, where these brave soldiers stormed these beaches to fight the Nazis that had defensive positions up here. So they're on higher ground, and they have bunkers all over here. You can see the bunkers, and liberated France and then Europe from the Nazi oppression. So the cemetery is right next to us. So this American cemetery is right over there. So where we have many of those brave American soldiers are buried. Some of them, there's a list of bodies that were never found. So really just a horrific day in history, but so important. So the tides here are quite large. They're amongst the largest tides in Europe. So the tides changes by about 12 to 14 meters. And so you can see the beaches are really flat. So there's a huge difference between low tide and high tide. You know, it's pretty impressive. So at Gold Beach, just east of here at Arromanch, they built that artificial harbor I was telling you about. So if you can imagine, they're building this harbor at the same time that they're doing this invasion. So just an incredible operation. And they used a lot of defensive tactics, including artificial fog. So they created artificial fog, you know, to hide the lights and their construction activity. So I don't know, I want to walk down to the beach. The Mulberry Harbors, that's right, exactly. So it was Winston Churchill that first envisioned this idea of creating an artificial harbor there, and he made it work. Now the Americans also intended to create an artificial harbor here at this beach, but they had to abandon it. The weather was not cooperating, and ultimately they couldn't do it. But the British did it just to the beach east of here. How many from both sides perished? So I believe, PK might know the figures better than I do, there's roughly about 500,000 casualties on both sides. So roughly 250 each. And of deaths, I think there was 39,000 died on the Allied side. So we have a little bit more precise figures on the Allied side, and on the German side we have estimates. You can see it's a little bit of a walk down to the beach. Now you used to be able to, in here in the past, access the beach directly from the American cemetery, and it's just a short walk down, but they no longer allow people to access the beach from the cemetery. So you just have to walk up, it's a short distance, just outside the cemetery, just outside the parking lot, and there is a footpath, this footpath that takes you down to the beach. It's about a 10-minute walk to get to the beach. So they changed it, I guess it was 7 years ago. After 2015, they decided no more access from the cemetery to the beach. But you can see how the beach is very flat, just goes out for very long distances, and then every once in a while you have these cliffs. Seems like tides are very big across most of northern France. That's true, yeah. We have really big tides. So I was just at Mont Saint-Michel. I guess I should have done the video from there. I don't think I did. Yeah, that would have been a great video, Mont Saint-Michel. Like 14-meter tides. There was also the 15 to 20,000 French citizens who died during the Battle of Normandy as well, according to D-Day Museum mural. Thank you, Steve. Yeah, so sometimes we forget to mention about all the civilians that also died during the invasion. Now, they did try to have the locals evacuated, but of course, you know, many were still here during this time, so. All right, well, I'm gonna walk down to the beach. By the way, I should point out, if you are at Gold Beach over at Arromanch, you can still see many of the artifacts from the artificial harbor. So I think there's roughly 24, maybe about 25 of the artifacts. So you can see the big blocks that were used to create the break wall and things like that. So it's quite worth the trip. They have several museums over there. They have the D-Day Museum. They have the three. So there's several things to visit in the area. And like I said, you can actually go into the bunkers. 10,000 casualties on D-Day with 4,414 confirmed dead. That's Allied personnel. And on D-Day only, just on the first day. So, yeah. And you can see on the maps that even after they landed on D-Day, I mean, it took them like, a couple of weeks just to advance a little bit further, a few kilometers further. And so it took quite a while till July and August before they were able to expand far enough that they could do operations much further afield. And it took them, they had to use this artificial harbor all the way until November, from June till November. And in November, I believe they were able to secure another harbor, I think it was in Belgium. This looks like another major bunker here. Should we go explore the bunker? Assuming the signal holds up, it's probably very muddy. There were some bunkers up ahead which were much smaller than the bunker. Wow. Let's go into the bunker. Wow. It's difficult getting up this hill. Just deal with enemy.
So she's like, well, I'm not using that again.
Was D-Day when Churchill made his famous speech. Well, it's really muddy, but you sort of get the idea. Actually, this bunker, it's actually probably not bigger than the other bunker. It looks bigger in total size. The other one's much narrower, but the other one had more rooms once you got inside, so the entrance was much smaller. Very narrow entrance that opened up into big caves. This one's sort of the opposite. It has a big entrance, but only small rooms once you get inside.